Yeah, fire away.
Okay.
How's it felt these past couple days being back out there? What do you think about your group so far?
Yeah, it's always good to get out in the practice field again. You know what? I'm excited about the group. Of course, we're still trying to shuffle, figure out who fits where, and the identity of what we are. But guys are very eager. We're probably the most talented we've been since I've been here. So I'm pleased with the work ethic. I mean, again, we're nowhere. It's practice 6. We're nowhere close to where we want to be, but at the same time, you can start to see the progression. You can see the want to. You can see the elements and traits that you need to have to be a good offensive line.
Is it kind of the life of an offensive line coach to constantly have guys in, out, moving around? I mean, is that just par for the course for you at this point?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is intentional too. Like you want to try and shuffle guys around to see what they can and can't do, and because that's the season. Rarely do you play 5 guys, stick with those 5 guys and go with it. You want to know that if Justin Osborne's the center and something goes down, that you could play Ja'Kai Clark there and all is well, or flip a tackle, or flip a guard, or bump a guy out if you need to. So some of that is injury, giving the guys a break. Some of that is, hey, we're just trying to see what guys can and can't do and see how flexible and diverse we can be up front.
How important was the transfer portal for your group this offseason, particularly preparing you for the ACC?
Yeah, it's been really important for us the last couple of years. We've taken a couple guys who've helped us play the last couple of years. I mean, this past year, we brought in Nate and Savion in the wintertime. Those guys are going to help us win a lot of games this year. Then you add Harris Patterson, Rashawn Sapp, those guys like that who have a lot of years, who have a chance to give us depth down the road.
What have you seen from Savion as he continues to go from, I think, that left guard spot at OU to right tackle for you guys?
Yeah, and Savion's athletically, he can do all 5 of them. He's really talented as far as what he can do. The biggest thing and the biggest challenge for Savion right now is just developing that consistency, the day in and day out. His good is really good. Right now his bad is really bad. We just got to make his take away the really bad, and then we'll have a really good football player. So, but when it's really good, it's something special to watch, and really it's better than anyone we have on the field when it's really good. It's just the consistency part. Some of that is, hey, we're going from a left-hand to right-hand stance. We're going from guard to tackle. We're in a new offense. All those things. So some of that is to be expected, but that's our challenge here right now. Is just the day in, day out. Let's just make sure we just see that steady incline.
And then what have you seen from the little bit you've been able to see Chamblee out there, kind of at that right tackle spot too?
Yeah, Andrew's a really smart, conscientious kid. He's a guy. He's a perfectionist. When he makes a mistake, you can see it eat him up, which sometimes can paralyze him on the field because he almost thinks too much or wants to be too perfect with what he does. He has a great length, smart, intelligent. He's learning how to use his size, do a nice job with that, and we anticipate him contributing a lot for us this fall.
How much can you draw from your couple games against power conference opponents last year to carry over into this season?
You know, I think the biggest thing you referenced earlier, the transfer portal. T.J. Williams came from Texas A&M. Logan Parr came from Texas. Justin Osborne came from Auburn. Nate Anderson came from Oklahoma. Savion Byrd came from Oklahoma. I'm missing a handful of other guys, but that's what they're used to seeing every day in practice. Now throw in the fact that 3 of our 4 offensive linemen are University of Miami transfers. Tank was starting nose guard in the SEC last year, so they're seeing that level of competition on a day-to-day basis here, and then a lot of those guys saw it on a day-to-day basis before they arrived here.
Got a lot of depth and some mix and match stuff you can do on the interior. Just how big is that with Ben coming back after sitting out in the spring, obviously moving Justin to center, Ja'Kai, those guys, and then obviously Logan will mix in back with that group.
Yeah, I mean, we feel we got, without not including Justin Osborne and not including Savion Byrd, who's played a significant time at guard, we feel like we have 4 offensive guards we win games with. And that's kind of what made us be a little more motivated to bump Savion Byrd to tackle. Just from the fact we're a little thinner at tackle. We feel really good about our guard depth. Feel good where we're at center-wise. Justin's progressing where he should be, but you also have a Ja'Kai Clark who has snapped 2 seasons as a starter at Miami. You have Logan Parr, who's a backup center at Texas. You have guys who can fill that role. So yeah, I feel really good. I mean, Sparks is a guy that played left and right last year. Jakai started his freshman year. I'm trying to think. He started his freshman year at one guard and his second year at the other guards, and played a lot of right guard for us last year. Nate, we've toggled him all over the place. So like, I feel really confident where we're at guard.
With PJ, you talked about how he kind of felt like he should have been, the starter all year long last year. You talked about his maturity developing. Just what have you seen as he kind of takes that next step and really tries to own that left tackle position?
Yeah, I really think PJ's probably having the best camp of anybody right now. He's been, I think he's given up 1 sack of all the practices so far. Being really steady on the edge. He's got a confidence about him. He understands the timing of that. Now he is the guy. This time last year, was he ready? PJ would tell you 100%. I don't know if he's ready or not, but he's a lot more ready now. He's in a great place right now. And the thing about PJ, he's got an infectious smile, infectious personality. He makes those guys around him better just with his attitude, his outlook, the way he approaches practice. And man, love that kid, and glad we have him.
And then with Logan, how much, obviously you want him to be able to go the whole year, but how much does it help to have the depth there with, Nate and Ben at left guard, that you don't have to force them in there too early, just kind of how's he progressing?
Yeah, and I think you said it as far as our plan. We really value Logan and his health. And we're in a situation where we feel like we don't have to press to throw him in the lineup right away. So he's progressing really well. He can tell you, right, if you ask him without a doctor around, he would tell you he can go right now and feels great. That's kind of the danger zone sometimes with you when you have a surgery, is you feel great, you push your body past what it's ready for, and then that's when you re-injure it. We're going to be really smart with that and delicate with that, because we know what a special player Logan can be when he's healthy, and we don't have the absolute need to throw him in there right away. So you'll probably see a progression to where he'll get a little bit more every week, and eventually to where he's back being the guy we saw him last fall.
And with those freshmen coming in, just what have you seen from Graham as you kind of put him into that center spot? He kind of gets those number 2 reps with, maybe your true backup centers still being in other spots, and then also kind of kicking Alex out to that other guard spot.
Yeah, we've really had Graham. You've had King Large, who's played a lot with second team left guard. We've played Alex Woods, who's redshirt, Alex Woods is redshirt freshman. Played him a lot of the guards with the second group. Had him actually some with the first group today. And going back to Graham is a guy that we're just, hey man, we're going to throw you in the water and see if you can swim right now. And he's drowning some, but he's surviving at the end of the day. And man, we're really excited about his talent and ability. He's a very coachable kid. Works really hard. Still got to teach him the game, habits, techniques, all those things. But he flashes enough to where we believe he's going to be a really good player here.
And then just, I know you do a lot of mixing and matching. They've got to get used to other guys, but is there a point where you'd like to say, this is our starting 5, and get that kind of group gelled before going into that first game of the season?
Yeah, I look at it more so as, do you play to a standard that is high enough to where everyone in the room trusts you to do your job? Like, I'm coaching, for example, I'm coaching Ben Sparks and Logan Parr and Jakai Clark and Nate Anderson all the same. So I expect them to communicate and do things a certain way. If they don't, they're not going to play. So as long as those guys can do that in that fashion and show us that they can help us win games, it's our job to try and find a way to play those guys. So I'm a little different from that. I think, of course, you love continuity, but I think the continuity lies in the 8 or 9 guys who are all capable and that do exactly what you ask them to do as a coach.